Welcome back, family. This is your boy D. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, listen, that just simply means Ed. I am back. Yes, I am back again, family, with another one. Today's episode is entitled, What is a Project Charter in Project Management? Again, what is a project charter in project management? You know I'm about to, this is my document right here. This right here, man, you playing with the wrong one. Okay, all right, I'm sorry, I get a little excited. Can't you tell I love this thing? I love what I do here. So thank you for tuning in. By the way, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit the like button and leave a comment. I want to hear back from you. By the way, if you have any questions for ED, there's a link in the description. Hit that link. I would be curious to see what's on your mind about project management. So anyway, back to the project charter. The project charter officially, and I do mean officially, formally authorized the project manager to, you know what, get started. All right, I'm sorry. Anyway, so the project charter authorized is basically a document that outlines the objective. Here we go again with these triple constraints, but objective, the scope, the stakeholders, and key deliverables. One thing I love about this charter, it's one of those things that you build before you even kind of, you leverage the business case to assist in building this charter, but you don't really have all the facts. Some of it you do, some of it you don't. So it's one of those things where you're kind of learning, but once you build it out the first time, there's no going back. Now I've been in organizations where people will get a project charter, fill out a project charter, get it signed by the sponsor, and go back and make changes. And that's incorrect. You should once that charter is officially signed by the sponsor. Sometimes I've even seen the sponsor, and I've signed it as well as the project manager, to say this is what we believe this project is about. That's what I call the project charter document. This is what we believe up until this point, because we haven't went and got into the planning aspect of things. We're still in the initiating in the process process group. We're still in the initiating section. So because we're in initiating, we don't know until we get into the planning, and then from the planning stage into the executing, and then from the executing to the monitoring and controlling. So we don't know really what's going on. So I'm gonna break down some of the components of the project charter. Again, it's a high-level description of the project, and again, here's some of the things that it includes. It includes your purpose, it includes your goals, objectives. There's also so let's look at the scope. The scope is a section in which it just outlines what the project is about. It also is also what is included and what is excluded. That's key, because a lot of times I've seen charters where they forget about what's excluded, meaning these are the things we will not do. We have no plans on doing, but we also have to make sure we're including in the project scope what is included. And basically it really just defines the boundaries, if I was going to sum it up. So the project scope. Then we look at the stakeholders. Basically, again, in that initiating phase, you're trying to identify the stakeholders that you believe will be able to assist you on this project, and you may not know all of the stakeholders. You may find out, again, whether in the planning, and sometimes in the initiating stage, when you are actually identifying stakeholders, you may even find out a little bit later, hey, I probably should have had Bob over here on this, so let me engage him in this particular project. So you identify the stakeholders and what their roles and responsibility is for or towards the actual project. Again, another item that you will list that's on the charter is deliverables. The deliverables are basically the specific, I don't know why I struggled on that, specific products, service, or results that this project is actually supposed to deliver. So those potential deliverables. The next one is assumptions and risks. Let's step back about the assumptions and risks. When it comes to the assumptions and risks, I feel, again, this is my opinion, right or wrong, but this is what I'm thinking. My opinion is that we don't invest a lot more into assumptions. I think if we invested a lot more into assumptions, what do we assume that may or may not happen or may not work? This will set us up for success long term during the duration of the project because we were able to outline that. One of the things I like to do when I'm doing that, I will normally have a brainstorming session and I'll say, name all the assumptions and risk. I didn't mention that, but assumptions and risk that you think that will be affected towards the project. So family, really dive into that the assumptions and risk aspect of things, due to the fact, to me, that's one of those principles that if you miss it and then you get hit with it, you like, man, I should have wrote that down. I should have thought about that so we could have been prepared. The next thing is the timeline and or the schedule. Same thing. Timeline is saying, how long is this project going to take? That's the best way I can say it. When are we going to be done with this project? Because I know, again, I'm talking to an intelligent audience. You know, a project has a specific start and end date. It is not. It doesn't mean project doesn't just go on forever and ever. That is more business as usual, or as what we call operational work. So timeline. The next thing is budget. How much budget do you have for this project? Do you know how much budget you're going to be able to be allocated for in order to lead this project to be successful? Listen, family, again, like I said, this is one of my favorite documents. And the reason why is because this document, it's very simplistic, but people make it complicated. Because the whole purpose of a charter is to be able to provide clear and concise summary of the project that you are going to be leading. It's really the true foundation of of project management. I've been in organizations where the charter really wasn't, it wasn't looked on how I look at it. I've also and when I've been in those organizations, what I've done is I've created my own charter, just because it helps the project manager get a concept of what they can expect, and if they can reach back in previous projects that they run that they've led, excuse me, that would be applicable to this project. So this is the reason why I may just go. I always sometimes create my own charter if there's not one created, and it, again, it's pending on the actual project because there's I've seen chargers. I've seen charters where there have been 2 and 3 page project charters, and then I've seen a project charter that's been a half a page or 1 page. You know, if you're asking my opinions how long it should be, it's really pending on what the actual project is, and because you need to make sure whatever the project is that it fits, that charter fits that project. One of my things is there's a lot of tools in the tool belt as far as project artifacts. Don't don't misuse them and or abuse them. Leverage them for your good. I hope you enjoyed today's topic episode. This has been your boy D. Until next time, I'm out.